Hi everybody. Lucky to be here, man. I want to share some stories about some old school, old type of kayak expeditions we used to do back in the day. There are three main tributaries, and they start about 4,500, 5,000 meters up in the Andes, in the snow. And from there, they literally plunge into these amazing walled canyons. There's almost continuous rapids for about 1,300 kilometers, and then it reaches the jungle. And the river changes completely and becomes this huge mass of water, which just winds it down to the sea. And, the Amazon's amazing. I think the Amazon pushes out more water than the next 5 biggest rivers in the world. It's just a huge river. But we grew up in Natal Midlands, farm kids. And my dad used to take us down when we were ridiculously young, down the flooding Umkomaas tubes. And during that time, something happened to me. I just realized, man, I just love this, man. This is it. This is what I want to do. Just love the adrenaline and the river and the beautiful place. And I think a little dream was born then. And this led us on to looking at the Andes and the greatest river, the Amazon, and all those tributaries which flow into it. I thought one day, man, yes, there are 3 main rivers, tributaries to the Amazon. I wonder if we could do all 3 of them. So in 1981, we set out with a group of highly inexperienced, naive, cocky South Africans to the Urubamba to try and do a first descent down this 2,000-kilometer river. And near zero budget, and old glass fiber kayaks, and bad paddles, no maps, no GPS in those days. But we got there, and as these things usually go, never go smoothly. We immediately had nearly all our equipment and kayaks stolen from seized by the customs, Peruvian customs. And on the way up to the source, our leader got very bad altitude sickness, had to get rescued. And I'll never forget that first day putting into the river. The river was roaring. And we put in, paddled off gingerly. We went about 1 kilometer. And then Clive, my friend, and I were just eaten by the most massive hole. We lost our kayaks and our paddles and our courage all in about 30 seconds. And that night we sat around a little campfire realizing, man, we've taken on more than we can chew here. This is not like the old Dusi River back home, the Umkomaas. We woke up in the morning and thought, but this next section, just to the next bend, is a little bit better. Let's try it. So we went down nervously, made it to the next bend, fought our way through the next rapid, then to the next one, and 2 months later we made it and we paddled into the Amazon River. And it was an exhilarating experience for us. We thought that it had been impossible. We just didn't know how it had happened, all the epics and the narrow escapes. That river really humbled us, It gave us the real respect for a river. It was a time of a big spiritual reboot for me. And the one thing we learned is that when things get tough, you just do one rapid at a time. And somehow you just seem to get to the bottom. So then the next trip we came back, we wanted to do the full length of the Amazon River all the way to the sea. And came back with a big, impressive team of international paddlers and sponsorship. It all looked very good on paper, but it was a disaster, When we got into that walled canyon, things just started coming apart. We started fighting, got injured, food ran out, got shot at by the Sendero Luminosos, the guerrillas, captured half the team. But we finally made it. After 5 months, the team got down to the Amazon. And then we had a long spell, man. We'd done the 2 rivers. And then there was one river still waiting. And 20 years went past. Farming, family, 4 wonderful kids. But that dream came up. And I thought, yes, man, this is the moment. And so a very small, lightweight team, we headed down the Marignan River, which is the 3rd river. Also about 2,000 kilometers. But this time we thought we were going to do it We're going to do it self-supported, no logistics, everything in our boats for the whole trip, and live off the river. We went with 3 other expert, these new hotshot kayakers. The guys were so good now, it's just unbelievable, man. And an old bully on the plus 50, and we went down, and we had the most brilliant trip. Everything worked out, man, and we were good mates, and we just enjoyed it. And I realized, I think the trick was just to keep it simple. You know, I'm a terrible organizer, and if you keep things simple, things just seem to work out so much better. And so we've done the 3 trips. We've done the 3 rivers of the Amazon. And all that was such a lovely, it was just a brilliant time of my life, man. I just loved it. But there's always one more river to do, eh? And 2 months ago, I was in Malawi, looking at the Shiri River, and I did a solo run down the Shiri that runs into the Zambezi. Big rapids, big fierce crocodiles. And again, you know, that same feeling that I'd got as an early teenager going down the Unkamas just came back, and I thought, this is living, man. This is fantastic. I just love it. And I want to do more. And so there's got to be another river for us to do. Thank you.